Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the WellMed Charitable Foundation Caregiver Teleconnection. This morning, we have a presentation by Deidre Edwards, who's a nurse, and who wanted to share with us a topic that we all need all the time, mindfulness and beyond, a caregiver-centric path to well-being. And Deidre, would you go ahead and tell us a little bit about yourself and your experiences, and then start your presentation?
Thank you so much, Evelyn, and thank you, everyone. It's a pleasure being here with you today that I can share some little knowledge that I have garnered along the way. I am a nurse. I ended up teaching the health science curriculum at a high school where I lived, and I retired from that maybe a couple years early to take care of my husband, whose health was failing. And he ended up being 100% bedfast, under hospice care at home in a hospital bed in our bedroom for 2 years. And I thought I knew a lot, and I did, but I also learned that I needed to learn a lot more. And the teacher in me just wanted to make it easier for caregivers around the world to do total care for someone. And so I wrote this book, Toolkit for Caregivers. The new edition is out right now on Amazon, and it guides people through the skills of caregiving, how to set up the caregiving environment, and deals with some of the emotional issues. I am in the process of publishing another book called Toolkit for Caregiver Emotions. And some of what I'm talking today is in that book, and we hope to have that live and ready to go in about 10 weeks. So here we go. Caregiving. It's usually born from love for someone else, and we have a very strong love and commitment to our loved ones, and we think that that is going to carry us through. But we have to build our caregiving upon the rock of self-care, because we have to love ourselves first in order to be there for them. And we can't rely upon the shifting sands of our diminishing energies, thinking that just the love is going to carry us through. We're going to talk about many aspects of this. I'm going to talk about a self-care that goes beyond taking breaks, which we absolutely must do. And it goes beyond even the mindful affirmations that we are going to be walking through in a little bit, which is very important. It goes to a kind of self-care that is going to build up and populate your village of people who can help you. You know, they always say it takes a village, and we're going to talk about that. Your village comes from your community and your connections. And you think, well, maybe I don't have a very big village, but we're going to show you that you probably do. Who is in that village? Well, family, first of all, comes to mind. Some of you may not have family. Or you could have been like me. My daughter lives thousands of miles away from me. My son lives hundreds of miles away from me. So they couldn't be there physically all the time, but certainly they were, on the phone and in constant communication with me. I do know, though, that some of you, maybe aside from maybe you don't have family, but maybe your family has left you high and dry. And you think, well, I don't have anybody, but yes, you do. Consider your friends and your neighbors. How about your faith-based connections? Groups in the community you belong to, or your work family. Acquaintances from the gym and sports activities. These are all connections that you can develop so that they can be a stronger part of your village. And of course, your healthcare providers, but I'm talking beyond just them taking care of you or your loved one. How about talking to that receptionist when you check in? I am really looking for caregivers. Do you know anybody who would like some part-time help who could come to my house and spell me while I go out and do errands and go to my own appointments? These are resources that are there. We do have to open our mouths, though, and ask for help to discover some resources you might not know. Now, before we move on to mindfulness, I want to talk about caregivers benefiting from a safety net that you have actively put in place that will benefit you and your loved one. This hinges on my takeaway from the recent tragic news about Gene Hackman and his wife, Betsy Arakawa. They had great needs that were not being filled, and that involves this safety net. What are we talking about? Daily check-ins. Are you calling family members or a friend every day, or are they calling you? Would they miss your phone call? What would they do if you didn't check in with them? What would your neighbors do if they knew you walked the dogs every day in the morning and in the evening, and then they didn't see you one day? Would they check on you? Do you have plans set up for this? Spreading out maybe home health or assistant caregivers throughout the week so that there's another person coming to your house every day. I did have a need to move my husband up in his bed to reposition him. As I mentioned last year in a presentation, patients drift down toward the foot of the bed in the course of the day. And I needed help in getting him up. And it takes another person to really do it well. So, the hospice nurse would come one day, the aide would come another day. And I scheduled those so that I had, kind of a lot of people coming by. But on days I had no one, I would ask a friend, hey, can you come over for coffee? And, we would visit. And then before they left, they would help reposition my husband. Did you know there are paid check-in services or services that could call you every day? Again, as in Betsy Arakawa's situation, she was healthy, an active person, but she ended up with a rare illness, and then she wasn't there. So we need to have a system in place of check-ins. Maybe your watch will note if you fall to the floor. Mine does. And then it says, it looks like you've fallen. Are you okay? Do you need to call 911? There are other devices that people can wear, help, I've fallen and I can't get up, one that you wear around your neck. Or there are other systems. Run, don't walk, to get those systems in place for your safety and the safety of your loved one. Or say you have guests over for dinner one night. You fall and have a heart attack in the kitchen. After they call 911 for you, who are they going to call? Do they know how to get a hold of your family or other caregivers to take care of your loved one? This is a very important safety net I want you to think about now. And after this, make sure that you get things arranged so that you will be protected. Because truly, we are thinking about our loved one being the number one priority and the only one here, but really there are two people to consider: you who are giving care and your loved one. Because where is your loved one going to go when you collapse from exhaustion, or when your personal neglect adds up to serious illness, or when you need to go to the hospital? We can't hope that that won't happen. We can work for self-care so that we're getting all our medical appointments and all of that ourselves, but accidents do happen. We have to think about this. It requires truly a shift in thinking that creates a new balance whereby everything used to be focused dead center on your loved one. It really is, yes, you are giving care, but you need to receive care and help from others. Now, this requires caregivers learning how to ask for help. And a lot of caregivers just don't know how to do that. They're used to giving help all the time. But you have to remember that in life, to everything, there is a season, a time to give and a time to receive. And as a caregiver, this is also your time to receive. So we need to open ourselves up to receiving help and asking for help. Because, friends, people want to help you. It helps you to build a strong network in order to maintain positive communications. So I recommend reaching out to other caregivers, whereby you can share experiences, give and receive advice, provide emotional support as you vent and empathize with other people, and provides a sense of community to you. Now, whether you do this in person, in your own community, or you can do it online, maybe in a Facebook group. I didn't know this existed while I was a caregiver for 2 years, but I have since joined one called Family Caregiver Support Group on Facebook. And you can join anonymously or using your real name, and you can get all of these benefits by talking with other caregivers. And don't forget, your identity is greater than being a caregiver. You have interests and passions. So make sure that your village includes non-caregivers as well, where you can talk about, hey, how are your kids' soccer games doing? You know, how's your rose bush looking? There are nurturing your entire person. And make sure now that these social connections that you are developing are positive, because social connections are proven to be key factors in stress reduction, stress management, building your resiliency, and just, staying sane. Again, including family, friends, and the groups of people that you know. Now, some of these people, usually family, might be giving you grief when they phone up, and all you're getting is a yow yow from them. That's probably not what you need that day. And it's okay for you to say, this conversation isn't going where I need it to be. I need support right now. We'll have to talk at another time. Goodbye. Click. It's hard to do the first time, but it gets easier because you don't need negative people in your life. It's all right to have opposing opinions, but you just don't need the negative vibes. Now, on to our daily mindfulness. We are going to move on to that because we have discussed the importance that you have to build up your daily safety net of check-ins, that your village is aware of your needs, sometimes we have to reach out first as caregivers because the friends want to help. Call me if you need anything, and they mean that seriously, but they don't know what you need. You may have to say, hey, I can't get out today. Come on over and we'll have a glass of wine. And it just makes life so much better. There are open lines of positive communication in your life. But now we want to talk about how are you going to build yourself up each day, aside from going out and going to the gym and all those things. What can you do when you're in the four walls? Well, you're going to use your powers. You have power. The power of your own body language. This is fascinating stuff. The power of what you tell yourself and the power of 2 minutes. You're going to use your powers by prioritizing your care to tap into strength and energy you probably didn't know you even possessed. And I'm going to show you how. Let's start in the morning, take you through the day. Unless you wake up to an emergency or a crisis, it's okay and proper for you to wash your face first. There were days when I didn't do that for no good reason. I just prioritized his care and I said, oh, I'll do myself later. And I just dove into my husband's care. It was probably 12 or 1 o'clock in the afternoon before I washed my face. My hair was sticking out and I just felt all yucky. That's no way to set yourself up for success. Wash your face first and then pull the string. This is something we talk about in my family all the time. I learned this trick when I was a teenager and taking a modern dance class. And the teacher always started us off every day. She said, okay, students, pull that string, that invisible string. And when we did that, our ears were over our shoulders and our shoulders were over our hips. And you naturally, when you do that, your chin raises and your chest is open. Now, let me tell you, you may be feeling like when you get out of bed, you're kind of hunched over. I call this the trudge. And you trudge into the bathroom from the bed and you go, oh God, what a terrible night. Oh, I'm feeling bad. Your shoulders are rounded, your head's hanging forward. Friends, this is no way to build your energy. And let me tell you, caregivers need energy. Energy is pouring out of you when you're in the trudge. Pull that string and you will notice as your chest opens up, it's just like magic. It's just like energy is pouring into you. You are able to receive. This is a receptive position. It works wonders. Now, don't laugh. We are going to assume the power pose. Yes, Superman and Wonder Woman had it right. It has been clinically proven that 2 minutes of assuming the power pose will reset stress hormones. They will drop. They do blood tests before and after. It works. You can do this anywhere at any time. I even did it in the middle of the Denver airport, but when I went to the restroom between flights, because I was feeling, yucky from the first flight and I was maybe coming down with something. I was kind of in the trudge. So I went to the restroom and in the privacy of that stall, I pulled the string and I stood up for 2 minutes. And you know what? I had a great second flight. I had energy. I didn't feel exhausted anymore. And it was just amazing. I didn't feel like I was coming down with anything anymore. pure magic, this energy. Now, while we're in this power pose, what could we do with our 2 minutes? Say something positive to yourself. First thing in the morning. What a novel idea. And did you know your mind believes what you tell it? If you're going to tell your mind, oh, this is a crummy day, I can't, this is bad going to happen, that's yuck, I can't, oh, I don't want to do that. No, build yourself up. We have this power to do that. Your mind believes what you tell it. Everyday affirmations will calm and focus you. Now, I'm sharing affirmations that are a part of the Caregiver Toolkit bundle that I offer on my website. And I believe we're going to have a handout for you that can be emailed to participants today that lists all this. So you don't need to take notes as we go through. You have access to it. And now you can say them all at once. It takes about 4 minutes, so that's a little bit longer than your power pose. Or you can just select 1 or 2 that resonate with you that day. So let's do this. In this moment of quiet, I breathe in peace and calm. With every deep, slow breath I take, my entire body relaxes and calms down. In this moment of quiet, I am filled with gratitude for the life in me and for the blessings that surround me. I choose to see blessings. I choose to gratefully receive blessings. And I seek opportunities to be a blessing to others. Deep in the center of my being is an infinite well of love, peace, calm, and untold strength. While life circumstances may not be under my control, I am in control of how I meet and respond to them. I choose to focus on this moment and on what I can control. That which I cannot control, I release to the universe. When faced with uncertainty, I know that I am enough and that answers are within me or will be shown to me. I am open to receiving help, and I use the resources available to me to meet life challenges with the best of my abilities and energies. I do not have to know all the answers all at once. I will take things one thing at a time. I have learned to live with grace. I live because of grace. I am becoming more graceful. I choose to focus on the love that guides me. In turbulent times, that love sees me through and gives me strength. I fill my space with the vibrations of my love so that all who enter, myself included, will feel the love and be nourished by it. Each day is a new creation. Each day I am new. Change is all around. With change comes growth. I am changing, learning, and growing. I honor this new day and the life and the opportunities given to me. I show love for myself by taking time to nourish my mind, body, and spirit. I am the best for others by first being the best for myself. I have the power to become even stronger. I am resilient. I am. Now, affirmations are wonderful, but you have to believe in them. If saying I am open to receiving help from others is still a little uncomfortable, but you are open to the possibility that this could be true for you, then go ahead and claim it and say it. Because remember, your mind believes what you tell it. Now, I have to share a quick story. One day, actually last month, all I could muster one morning was a weak yes. I couldn't think of a single one of those beautiful affirmations that I know all by heart. I was so tired. My sweetheart had a hip replacement last month, and I became a caregiver again. And it's a little intense for the first couple of weeks, and then, things get better. And that day was his birthday. So I wanted to have a couples over for dinner that night for a little birthday celebration while he was, still using his cane and hobbling around a little bit. So, but I was so tired. I could not get out of the living room chair. And I thought, wow, in what universe am I going to decorate the house for a party and fix dinner? And I said, I know, I have the power. So I got out of that chair, I pulled my string, and I mustered yes. Yes, I could take the next step. Yes, I could walk into the kitchen. Yes, I could do a little bit there. Yes, I could do this and that. And every few minutes, I literally said yes out loud. When I got into the guest bathroom and I was tidying that up, I looked into the mirror and I said, okay, Deidre, we need more than this. So I plastered on a fake smile. This is true. Yes. Now, when you smile, you have more energy in your yes. Okay. So I was using the power of the message and the power of my body language, and I delivered more power. And I started doing that. So as I'm going around doing my chores, blowing up balloons and things, I said, yes. And after a while, it was yes. And I had energy for the rest of the day. When our company arrived, the two wives said, can I help you in the kitchen? Yes. Could you help me do this? Could you help me do that? We finished up the dinner and we had a great time. Truly, we have power we didn't know we had. Now, how about these little minutes or two throughout the day? Now, sometimes even 2 minutes can be a challenge, but I like to take a mindful minute sometimes, and I'll just maybe step outdoors or I'll go to a sunny window and the sunbeam will be on me. I love having a little sunbeam on me. And I'll just take a moment to take a really deep breath. A sigh is very good to do. That really cleans out the lungs. And just take 60 seconds for yourself. It's a wonderful thing to do. But now I want to share little 2-minute things that we can do throughout the day. The first one is called box breathing. You can do this seated, standing, or lying in bed. In fact, many people will do box breathing in order to go to sleep. It just sets them up for a mindful release and a calming action. And we can do this right now. It's so easy. You inhale to a count of 4. I'll use my hand to demonstrate, but you don't need your hands. Inhale to a count of 4. Hold that breath for a count of 4. And then exhale to a count of 4. Hold it on empty for a count of 4. And then repeat. This will absolutely calm you and recharge you in such a wonderful, wonderful way. 4, 4, 4, 4. Box breathing. The second thing is guided grounding, which is basically a survey of your 5 senses. Now, you can do this for where you are right now and just observe these things, or you can close your eyes and think of a favorite spot and then go through your senses, recounting 5 things that you are seeing. 4 things you're feeling or sensing. When I remember the hot tub at the vacation resort, and I think of the bubbling water around my skin, the warmth of the water, the roughness of the bottom of the seat where I'm sitting, the warmth of the sun and the breeze on my face. Think of 3 things you may be hearing right now or in a memory. Maybe the bubbling of the water in the hot tub, the laughter of the children in the big pool, and the voices of the mothers. 2 things you're smelling now or in a memory. In my memory, I'm smelling the chlorinated water bubbling around me. And then I smell the sunscreen of the mothers putting it on their children. 1 thing you are tasting. Maybe the lingering taste of a mint you popped in your mouth. Just a survey of your 5 senses causes you to think about something else and concentrate on these things. It's wonderful. Now, something you may not have heard about is the pretzel. I learned this from a social worker, excuse me, who said that she has seen people stop their anxiety attack in a clinical setting by doing the pretzel. You do this seated, and as you're seated, cross your right leg. If you're right-handed, cross your right ankle over your left ankle. If you are left-handed, cross your left ankle over your right ankle. Okay, now hold your arms straight out in front of you, palms facing each other. Now turn your thumbs down to the ground. Your palms are now facing out. Again, if you are right-handed, put your right hand over your left arm. If you are left-handed, put your left hand over your right arm and then lace your fingers. Now draw your hands up to your chest and kind of turn them up like this. Now, if you can't do that for some reason, just keep your arms out straight with the hands crossed. The importance of crossing at the hands and the feet is that we are crossing your body across. Body parts are crossed over the midline of your brain. Now, if you can, bring your arms up and rest them on your chest. This is a 2-minute exercise. We will start with breathing deep breaths 3 of them in through the nose. Here we go. And then blow out that birthday candle. In through the nose. Blow out that candle. And then the last time. And now, as you stay with your ankles crossed and your arms up here, resume normal breathing. Just concentrate on the feeling of your breath going in and out of your lungs, noticing the rise of your chest and how it feels for the movement of the air. And at the end of 2 minutes, you have had a complete reset. Now, talking about little moments throughout the day, I did this very thing this morning while I was waiting for my leftover pancakes that I had made the other day. I pulled them out of the fridge. They were cold and I was warming them in the pan. While this was going on, I did this. You can do this while your coffee brews or while you're waiting for the water to boil. Little things we can do throughout the day. Let's do this. Now, if any time you experience any discomfort in doing what I'm going to do, just stop and this will not be for you. We are going to do repetitions of 2 throughout these exercises. In reality, I usually do a repetition of 5, but we're trying to tighten up our time. So we're just going to stretch our neck a little bit. And I just look up toward the ceiling and stop when you feel any kind of resistance. And then go back to center and then look down. Gently come back up to center and we'll do it one more time. And there, look, see, I'm looking farther up than I did the first time and then down. Okay, I just do this until I'm really loosened up. Usually takes maybe 3 to 5. Now we're going to look right and left. Here we go. Just turn till you get any tightness and then stop and then go back to center and look the other direction and just until you get resistance and then back. Do it again. Oh, did you see me? Because I couldn't turn much and now I'm almost looking off my shoulder. If I were to do this 3 more times, I would get much more movement. We can also do this for our upper body, just turning slightly one way, pausing and going in the other direction, turning the upper body. And after a while, you can find yourself turning enough to, like if you were in the car, you would be going, "Hey kids, stop fighting in the back seat." You're ready for that when you do these movements. Because there's a lot of tension in caregiving, we tend to get bunched up. And this is just a quick release of some of your muscles. Another one I love is fly like an eagle. I did this while the pancakes were reheating as well. We're going to stand like you were going to do arm circles. We've all done this, okay? But with arm circles, your palms are facing down. I want you to turn your palms facing up. This makes a total difference in how this feels. First of all, start with your arms straight out, palms down. That feels one way. Now turn your palms up. Oh my goodness, did you see what that did to your chest? Did you feel that stretch across here? Re-emphasizing our upright, pull the string position. Okay, now just take a little flap of your little eagle wings. Again, we're only going to do this a couple of times each. Now drop your arms a little bit more. We'll do this twice. In reality, you can do it up to 8, all the way down for the last set. All right. And now, keeping your arms out, palms to the ceiling, do little baby circles forward. Okay, now little baby circles backwards. Now a medium-sized circle forward, a medium-sized circle backwards, and now a big circle. I'm running into my podcast lights here. There you go. Now, drop your arms down. Are your arms buzzing? Is your chest buzzing? Can you imagine doing up to 8? You may have to work to up to 8, but it is the best workout, and you can do it while the coffee's brewing. It's wonderful. Now, in the course of your day, as we walk through your day, do something that is not caregiving. More importantly, doing something over which you have total control, because caregivers are always feeling like they're, nothing is in their control. They're just kind of along for the ride. Well, remind yourself that you can control some things. Tidy a drawer, trim a rose bush, or better yet, do something that's a personal interest of yours, whether it's knitting or drawing or put 5 pieces of a jigsaw puzzle in, or coloring and painting, reading a chapter of your favorite book. Also, include regular journaling. Oh my, I probably journaled almost every day as a caregiver because there was a lot to talk about. And there is science behind this. We don't have time to get into it today, but ramping down the volume of our swirling emotions can happen very easily by journaling. Getting outdoors, getting exercise away from the house, preferably with other people, building up those social connections. At day's end, as you look into that bathroom mirror, acknowledge your efforts, praise yourself, and thank yourself for all that you have done or attempted to do. Maybe you're the only one thanking yourself. Go ahead and do it. Celebrate all of that you have done. If there's room for improvement, fine. You can try something else tomorrow. And then, this is key. Before going to bed, write in a gratitude journal 3 things you are grateful for that day, because even bad days have blessings in them. Or do a blessings jar. I have a mason jar with a little lid on it, and I have a little baggie taped on the outside filled with little square pieces of paper, and I write something I'm grateful for or a blessing that happened to me that day, and I put it in there. And then the really big blessing that comes back to you is when on New Year's Eve or New Year's Day, you dump those blessings out on the table. You pick each one up and mindfully remember each one, and you go through a year's blessings. Friends, I'm here to tell you that is a transformative experience. I look forward to that moment every year. But being reminded of gratitude and things that we deem a blessing to us before going to bed sets us up for a better night's rest. We've talked about a caregiver-centric approach, understanding that the real priority is not our loved one, it's us, because if we fall down, who's going to be there to take care of them? And which leads to creating a safety net that we have to have in place for daily check-ins. And I hope you have discovered the deep power of your own body language and the power of your self-talk and the power of just 2 minutes. Thank you so much. I can be reached through my website, deidreedwards.com, where you will learn about my books, my blog, my speaking engagements, and podcasts like this, get a bunch of free downloads, and learn about the new Caregiver Toolkit.
Oh, good. Deidre, you did a beautiful job. Unfortunately, we had two different times that we were kicked off the internet or kicked off by an unstable connection. So I apologize for that to all of you. We will be talking to Zoom about that because we don't like to be kicked off when we're giving our presentations. But I think we all have a pretty darn good idea right now of what Deidre was trying to tell us. And I personally gained a lot from it. I hope you all did. And now we would love to have questions, comments. We'd love for you to share with us what you do. And then someone did talk about doing the breathing, pretty much exactly like you were talking about, Deidre. And our friend Minerva said how much she enjoyed, I think it was the eagle stuff. Is that what you like so much, Minerva? Or was it just everything?
It was really everything
Oh, good.
and reinforced some things that I knew of and some things that I'm going to try to implement now.
Great. Alicia, would you like to talk to us? I see that you're unmuted. Maybe not. Okay. Anybody else? Come on. Ask questions. Oh, go ahead.
It was awesome. I just wanted to make sure that you guys said that we will get the some handouts, or will we get the recording also, or just what? Because I need to get this. I need to do it again. I've been a caregiver for 8 years or more, and I'm worn and tired. So I need to re-go over it all again. It was really, really beautiful, wonderful.
Well, bless you for what you do. And are we sending out your slides to folks, Deidre? Is that okay?
We certainly can. That would be fine. And
you want to send it to us in a PDF?
Sure.
Okay. Okay, great.
And I did send to Minerva the blessings printout, so maybe she can send that to people.
Please, that would be wonderful.
Great.
I need, let me just show my face real quick. Here I am. I haven't even done all what you said do. I'm fixing to go take care of me now. We had home health. We're on year 8 of what was a 5-year diagnosis of life. So it's been in the hospital over 30 days. Okay.
You look like a saint to me.
I'm just so tired, but this was so good. Thank you.
Bless you for what you do. Chuck, you want to talk to us?
Sure, thanks. Excellent presentation. A lot of reminders, a lot of new stuff. One of the things at the beginning you were talking about, difficulty of moving someone up in the bed. I take care of my 94-year-old dad for 11 years now. From a distance, I live on the other side of town. I don't live with him, but I have home health aides that are there every day during the day. And then my brother is supposed to be there at night, Anyway, we won't go there. But a couple of things. We just got him an adjustable bed a few months ago since he came out of the hospital this last time. So take advantage of the adjustable bed when moving someone up, lower the head, raise the feet. If that's possible, it makes that easier. Also, when I was a paramedic, I used a draw sheet, which is a partial sheet that's about a third of the bed that you put underneath the patient.
Yes.
And if you have someone else there to help you on the other side, you can lift the patient that way and slide them up. It just takes a lot of the weight off, or even if it's by yourself, you can do one side at a time. It's just very helpful
Yes.
to do that and not hurt yourself, because even being a paramedic and knowing how to lift, I've hurt myself a few times with my 6 foot, 200-pound dad.
Wow.
So,
Well, God bless you. Yeah, thank you for what you do. Yeah.
That's a good point. I go over in detail about draw sheets in my Toolkit for Caregiver book, and I talk about a two-man lift using draw sheets, and I also describe step by step how to do it when you're by yourself, because there were a few times I had to do it. My husband was 6'2" and over 200 at the time, and there were times I had to pull him up in bed by myself. But that is a wonderful point to bring out. Yes.
Thank you, Chuck. That was great. And Alicia says that the survey disappeared while she was going through it. I don't know if you want to put it back up, Minerva. And I have to tell you, this has been, a real mind-opening presentation. I'm sure there are a few others who might have something that they would like to say or questions that they'd like to ask, or maybe you can give us some of the things that you do to relax when you have a couple minutes time, or once you have respite in place, because we would love to hear your ideas about how to do that. We had people saying, take a walk outside and just cool things like that. Leroy, I know you're on the phone. Did you want to talk to us? You just press *6 and you can open up your line.
Oh, thank you. Yes. Excellent presentation. I've been a caregiver for my father who passed away in 2020 with prostate cancer. And then also my mom recently passed away in 2023, and I was her full-time caretaker. So I wish I had known these tips in order to decompress. The breathing exercises would have been great to know, which I didn't know. But taking this forward, one of the things that I think we can all benefit from, especially for those who are still actively taking care of their loved ones, is how to deal with frustration. Mm-hmm. I really didn't deal with frustration very well.
I address caregiver emotions in this new book that's coming out in about 10 weeks. And frustration is definitely one of those things. And a lot of times that is born from frustration with lack of control. And then that leads to identifying, are we really in control of this thing that we are frustrated with? And I have a questionnaires that people can go through. It's like a control questionnaire. What is it that I am frustrated about? What is it about that's frustrating me? What makes me think I have control over anything dealing with this? What's the evidence that shows that I have control? If I do have control, how do I develop an action plan? And I guide people through how to do that. But if you don't have control, then you need to release that. And I walk people through methods of literally releasing things that they have no control of.
The most frequent frustration I have heard during these presentations is people who, once they have dementia, that they repeat the same thing over and over. They ask the same question over and over, and it just drives people nuts.
Absolutely. And I am not deep in personal experience with heavy duty dementia. There was some stuff going on with my husband, especially at the end. But that is, I don't think there's a magic wand we can do for that. I mean, it just it naturally drives us nuts. And then my background in nursing homes and dealing with Alzheimer's patients, you just have to walk in with a fresh mindset, every time, and just try to live in the moment and understand their frustration that they're having to say this. But that is a difficult path. And my hat's off to everyone.
Right.
Caring with
Some of
someone.
our experts talk about distraction, but
Yeah.
I think that only goes so far. So we have to figure out what actually works for the people that we have.
It
Yeah,
is. Sometimes you can redirect people and get them off that little spiral, the little, round robin that they're on, and say, oh, let's look at this, and let's look at this magazine, or let's go for a walk. And that sometimes helps, but then sometimes you're just stuck.
Right. Now,
Yep.
Yvonne, did you want to talk to us? Well, Chuck said, all you can do is your best.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah, I like that.
Those are words to live by for all of us. That's what I always felt when I was parenting. Okay, I tried.
We can only do the best that we can do with the energies we have at the time and the knowledge that we have at the time. And, could we have had more energy? Could we have had more knowledge? Yes, but that's not where I was at that moment, and you just have to do the best.
Right. Okay, well, I'm going to do just a few little housekeeping things here, but I can't thank you enough, Deidre. It sounds like people really enjoyed this. I know I did.
I'm
And
so glad.
I feel more relaxed at the moment. Gonna do some more of those exercises that you talked about.
Mhm.
We do have a whole new calendar of stuff that's coming up next month. This is the last one for this month, but boy, I won't go through it because we're running a little long, but we've got older parents caring for adult children. We have communication strategies across the stages of dementia. We have programs that consider family members as paid caregivers, paid providers.
Mhm.
We have, and that's obviously someone who's familiar with government programs. What we've learned from Hackman, Dr. Barry Jacobs is going to talk a lot about that and planning for emergencies. We have mindful solutions for reducing caregiver stress. We have federal and state programs for older adults and family caregivers, another government presentation, I'm sure. And we also have one in Spanish. Minerva, help me out. 10 signs of Alzheimer's.
Correct.
Where'd Minerva go? Oh, there she is. Okay.
Yes, that's correct. 10 signs of Alzheimer's, and that will be in Spanish.
Yes. So we thank you so much for joining us today. If you were not registered for today, if somebody gave you the phone number or gave you the link, please call customer service at WellMed Charitable Foundation. The number was in the chats. Minerva put it there, but I'm going to give it to you again. It's 866-390-6491. That's 866-390-6491. And this is really important because otherwise you won't get the slides from today. You won't get the handout. It would be so great if you could sign up. And in addition to that, you'll get the monthly calendar, which is a treasure trove of what you can look forward to in the coming month and which ones you might want to sign up for. And you can register right online when you get that calendar. And with that, I want to again thank Deidre for her wonderful job. I want to thank all the caregivers for what you do. Such a hard job, the hardest. And I'd like to thank the WellMed Charitable Foundation for sponsoring these great speakers, for keeping us informed about the newest stuff that's happening for caregivers and to caregivers sometimes, and then also providing services here in San Antonio, in Texas, and in Florida. And hopefully they'll keep expanding. And we have many people on the phone who are from all over the country. So we feel like we're really putting a community together, as you can see from the great response we get on the web here. So I think I ignored Daisy Cummings once. Daisy, did you want to have the last word here?
Yes, I unmuted because I just wanted to know when she was speaking about releasing for the things that we can't control. And so you have activities for that? And how can I get a little bit more information on that?
That will be included in my new book, but I believe I have the release. Let me see. I'm not sure. I don't think I do. It'll be in my new book that's out in 10 weeks, Toolkit for Caregiver Emotions. It has been a part of some other presentations that I have done.
Could she email you?
Maybe I can send you another thing to share with all the participants that covers the release. How about that?
Well, that would be fabulous. I'm sure people would appreciate that. Thank you so much, Deidre. You've been lovely. And thank you, Minerva, for all your help all the time. And with that, I am going to stop the recording. Thank you all. Hope you have a great day.